estamos para ti.
Hi everyone, my name is Chelsey, and today I would like to walk you through how to draw a panda bear. So to draw the panda bear, we're going to break it down step by step. So all you really need is just a pencil, maybe an eraser, and it's optional. I did color it with pen, but if you'd like to use a pencil or maybe later a colored pencil or crayon, something else just to get darker variations, totally up to you. So let's get started. So here I have our panda broken down into steps. So really we're just gonna start by drawing shapes, and later we're going to add some texture and some shading. So just follow along here. So I'm a new piece of paper. And first I'm just gonna start with softly sketching a circle. Your circle does not have to be perfect. It's nearly impossible to make a perfect circle, so just relax. So we're gonna start with a circle, not too big. It's always better to start smaller, and we can always make things bigger when we're drawing. And I just lightly kind of sketch, going back and forth. These really soft lines because we don't want them to show through. So here we have it, just a kind of small, very imperfect, sketchy circle, and that's our start. So once I have the circle, we're just gonna draw some lines to kind of divide up the face. So I'm gonna divide the line, or the circle, about in half, but I wanna give it just a little bit of curve. So it's not a perfectly straight line, it's curving just a little bit. And then I'm gonna divide it in half again. So slightly curved line, just like this. I'm gonna draw another little circle down here. Breaking it into shapes is one of the harder parts, so just follow along with this, and you can always pause it and redraw your shapes if you need to. So from this dividing line here, I'm just gonna draw a little semicircle coming here and connect. This is an oval shape more than a circle, the second one, but over here. It's a little bit bigger on this side because maybe our panda's looking this way just a little bit. So circle, divide it into 4 parts, and then draw another circle. Awesome. And once we have that second circle, I'm just gonna draw some little eyes. Right now we're just gonna draw tiny little circles for the eyes, and they go about here for the first one. And the second one's gonna be just a little bit more over. And they're about the same size and they're in line, but we'll come back to it later so they don't have to look perfect right now. It's okay. After the eyes, I'm just gonna draw some ears, and they're gonna be kind of semicircles or like a C shape. And we're gonna put one on this side of the head. And you can start nice and light with the lines, and then you can make them a little bit darker by pressing harder with your pencil. So now we have ears on the panda. All right, now we're gonna draw the nose in. So the nose is gonna go in this circular part. This is gonna be the whole mouth and nose area of the panda. So we don't wanna have it too close to the eyes, like a human nose would be closer. It's gonna be a lot longer. So we're gonna just draw it down here. And you can start with little nostrils, and you can use the eyes as a reference. The nostrils can be below the eyes. Just little circles or just a little kind of scribble. And then we're just gonna make a little triangle for the nose. So I'm gonna draw a line up here, and then bring the triangle down. So this initial line that we had here kind of cuts this in half into a little shape, and we're gonna use that to draw this part of the mouth. And then we can just draw a little smile. Now our panda has a face. All right, now we're gonna start with the body. So the base of the bear, the panda bear, is gonna be just a bunch of shapes. So it's gonna look a little weird at first as we build it, and then eventually we'll add texture. So it's gonna kind of look like a balloon animal at first. So I wanna have an arm over here, and it's gonna be almost an oval shape, but it's just kind of connecting into the head, and it's coming out slanted this way. Again, draw nice and light with a pencil. We can always go over it darker later. And then we're gonna draw the second one. It's gonna be coming out this direction. We wanna save plenty of room for the big body that we're gonna have here. So we're gonna draw the second piece of the arm. Almost similar in size, going in different directions. After that, it's just a little extension. It's almost like a circle, oval shape. And then one more over here. And I'm starting to turn it in just a little bit, so we're almost kind of making a triangle shape here. And then I have two more little pieces over here. And now our panda has arms. All right, now that our panda has arms, we're gonna move on to the feet. So I want to have the feet not connected to the body quite yet, so we're gonna create a little bit of space and then draw an oval down here. And the oval is gonna be going in this direction, just kind of like an egg shape almost. Just like this. And then another oval over here. They can be going the same direction. If it's pointing a little bit in another direction, that's okay too. His feet are just gonna be relaxed down here. So two big ovals at the bottom. All right, now that our panda has feet, we're going to connect the feet to the body. So I want to draw from this oval, this foot, just a line connecting, kind of a curved line. And then I'm gonna go over here, so I'm gonna go from the hand down to the foot. Make sure the line is nice and round, just like that. All right, now this is gonna be his leg over here, so I'm gonna draw another curved line from this oval up to the hand, just like this. So we've got a nice kind of chunky, roundish leg over here. Now I need to connect this foot to this foot through his body. So I'm gonna create a nice curved line here. So I'm gonna go from this oval, curve the line over to this leg. And now our panda has a complete body shape. All right, we just wanna add one more line to make the body a little bit fuller, and that's gonna be just adding a little bit of a back to him over here. So I'm just gonna slightly go behind the ear, around the head, and just kind of trace along this side, making him a little bit thicker, and we can just curve that line right into the leg right here. So it's going from the head down to the leg. All right, and now the body is finished, so I'm just gonna work on filling in the eyes here. So we have nice little round eyes, but I wanna give his eyes just a little bit more shape, so I'm gonna create kind of like an almond shape around the eyes, just by adding just a little curved line on top of each circle. So it's kind of like just putting eyeliner or a little bit like mascara on him or something. And then I'm gonna just create a little curved circle on, or curved line on the bottom of the circles as well. Just adding a little bit more of a shape to his eyes. And then I'm gonna create a little circle inside of his eyes for a white little highlight, because adding a little bit of highlight to eyes makes them a little bit more either realistic, or if you're drawing cartoony, it makes it look a little more cute or alive. So once I have that circle, I'm just gonna color in outside of that white circle so the inside of the circle just stays white. So that's our highlight. So I'm just gonna draw nice and dark, color nice and dark around that white space. All right, once we have that, we're just gonna draw a little shape above, just a little circle above and below the eye. Just give it a little extra definition. And then from here, I'm just gonna draw a little line coming from, it's gonna get kind of sketchy here because we're gonna start adding his fur, and it's gonna come down and just kind of trace around that second circle around his mouth area. So I'm gonna do that from each eye and connect it down. And then we'll begin shading. All right, now we're gonna start shading, but I want to erase the mapped out lines that we have here. So we're just gonna take that eraser and then you just go ahead and erase that line that you have that's cutting the face into quarters here. And then the rest of them we can just kind of shade over. So if you want to use a pen or pencil, whatever you're more comfortable with, maybe you can start with a pencil. We're just gonna kind of scribble, and I'm just gonna do a little example over here of what the scribbling will look like. Drawing animals is really nice because they have a lot of fur and you can have a lot of freedom drawing with your scribbles. But I want to just kind of talk about how we're gonna scribble. So we tend to, we'll want to draw going in the same direction. So I'm just gonna show here how we're gonna outline the body, just kind of scribbling, giving him a fur effect. But we wanna kind of be coloring or scribbling in the same direction to keep a little bit of consistency. All right, so we'll begin shading here. I'm just gonna soften our edges here so we go from the balloon animal look to a little bit more realistic animal look. So I'm just gonna start by shading down the arm. And again, I'm just doing these little kind of scribbles. This is full of fur, right? So we wanna make them nice and furry and soft and no hard lines. All right, when I'm scribbling or adding the fur around the head, I want to go just a little bit softer because it's going to be more, your strokes will be a little bit more important on the face because they'll be more evident here. So I'm going to go up to the face, make them a little bit softer. And then pandas usually have those dark circles around the eyes, so I'm going to add that as well. And they're going to be shapes in the same shape as a kidney bean around the eye. So I'm just gonna go up, down, and around, just like this. And I want this area to be dark, yes, but I don't want it to be darker than the eyes because his eyes are ultimately gonna be the darkest part. And we wanna be able to see his cute little eyes. So I'm gonna add the second kidney bean shape over here. And then once you have those, you can go ahead and scribble inside. Again, scribbling or shading in the same direction will help it look just a little bit neater rather than in all kinds of directions just to fill it in. So shade around the eye, you can get nice and close to the eye, maybe even go over it, but make sure it's lighter than the eye color itself. Okay, all right, now we're gonna continue shading with the face. And so now that we have the shading around the eyes, we're just gonna continue around that. So we're gonna continue shading. So I'm gonna color the other arm in and the leg and the feet. But I'm just going to avoid the white belly space. So go ahead and just take this time to shade, coloring nice and dark. And if you want it darker, press harder. And remember to shade in the same direction. So that's our panda. So you can do different things with it. I did this panda drawing in ink just to make it look a little bit darker than I can get with a pencil. And then maybe another option is to add some bamboo or a fun background of your choice. So thanks for drawing a panda bear with me today. Let me know how it went. And once you're finished with your panda, feel free to take a picture and have your parents post it in the comments and send the picture to us, and we'll have a look at your panda so you can share your art. Thanks!